Dell PCs with Intel inside are built for the moments that matter, for the moments you plan and the ones you don't. Built for the busy days that turn into all-night study sessions. The moment you're working from a cafe and realize every outlet's taken. The times you're deep in your flow and the absolute last thing you need is an auto update throwing off your momentum. That's why Dell builds tech that adapts to the way you actually work. Built with long-lasting batteries so you're not scrambling for the closest outlet. And built-in intelligence that makes updates around your schedule, not in the middle of it. They don't build tech for tech's sake. They build it for you. Find technology built for the way you work at Dell.com/DellPCs. Built for you.
This is Optimal Finance Daily, the 800 Credit Score Club, 4 tricks to quickly increase your FICO score, by Marcus Garrett with JackieBeck.com. According to FICO, as of April 2019, only 22.3% of Americans had a credit score over 800. So the 800 Credit Score Club, the group of people with a FICO score between 800 and 850, doesn't have that many members. In fact, if you have a FICO score of 800 or higher, your score is in the excellent range. With a score like that, you're likely a low-risk borrower, and you'll normally qualify for lower interest rates. If you do borrow money, that matters. Why having a higher FICO score can help. For example, did you know that making only the 2% minimum payment on $15,000 of credit card debt will take 50 years to pay off and cost you $43,000 in interest if it has an 18% interest rate? That's pricey, but the costs go down as your interest rate does. Lower interest rates are easier to get if you have a good or excellent score. So today, I want to talk to you about how to break the debt cycle and how increasing your score can help. But first, a little backstory on how I became a member of the 800 Credit Score Club. According to NerdWallet, the average household has over $40,000 in credit and student loan debt. I was fairly average in that regard. I got my first credit card at age 18. I had no idea what I was doing. In fact, I proceeded to bury myself $30,000 in debt by age 22. I finally put my first budget together at age 27 and turned my personal finances around in the process. I became a self-taught debt management and credit card expert, reading 15 personal finance and investment books and writing 3 of my own along the way. In my mid-30s, I finally gained access to the exclusive 800 Credit Score Club. Here are 4 tricks that I have for folks looking to raise their FICO score. Think of it as your roadmap on the way to the 800 Credit Score Club. Number 1, download your annual credit report. It's free. To raise your credit score, you need to know what is influencing it. This is where your credit report, also known as your credit history, comes into play. You're legally entitled to your credit report, and it's free. Visit annualcreditreport.com today to download your credit report from each of the 3 major bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. In fact, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, for a limited time, you can download your report from each bureau each week through December 31st, 2023. Number 2, prioritize improving the 2 factors that impact 60% of your credit score. Think of your credit report like the classes you take during the semester. Your credit score is like your GPA. It reflects how well or poorly you manage your credit. There are 5 major factors that influence your FICO credit score. Payment history, 35%. How consistently you pay your credit off and/or on time. Amount you owe, 30%. Amount of credit you owe as compared to the total amount of credit you have, also called your credit utilization. Length of credit history, 15%. How long and well you've been using credit. New credit, 10%. Tracks whether you've recently opened a loan or line of credit. And types of credit, 10%. The mix of credit you have open, loans, store, and/or personal credit cards. As you can tell from the influencing factors in this list, payment history and the amount you owe are over 60% of your credit score. Stated another way, making positive payments each month and keeping your credit utilization, amount you owe, at 0 can quickly raise your score. A best practice is to pay your credit cards off in full each month. Becoming debt-free and responsibly managing the credit I do use month to month is how I keep a high FICO credit score. Number 3, accelerate payments on one of your outstanding balances. As we've learned, your outstanding balance is a significant portion of your credit score, 30%. Additionally, your payment history impacts your score, 35%. You can use this to your advantage. Instead of making only the minimum payment, target a credit card or loan you want to pay off and accelerate payments on the outstanding balance while continuing to make the minimum payment on your other credit. This will have 2 immediate benefits. First, by increasing your monthly payment, you'll positively improve the influence of your payment history. Secondly, as you pay off this credit card or loan balance, your credit utilization goes down, which is another factor that increases your credit score. By taking one action, you get 2 positive benefits for your credit score. And number 4, use your good credit score if you need to access cheaper credit. CBS News reported that improving a credit score from fair to very good can save over $56,000. It sucks, but the fact of the matter is that having bad credit itself costs you more money. What does that mean? For example, a person with a credit score range of 580 to 669, which is fair, will cost you $3,000 more in interest charges when compared to someone with a good credit score of 740 to 799. In other words, improving your credit score literally helps you save money. This is not limited to credit cards. Car payments, mortgage costs, and personal loan interest are all less for people who have a good credit score. This should act as additional motivation to raise your credit score. Good credit gives you access to cheaper credit, which in turn helps you pay off your credit quicker and own assets at a lower cost. As you raise your credit score, you can call your lenders and ask for better interest rates. If they aren't negotiable, review your options to refinance to a lower interest rate as you move towards paying down your debt on your way to debt freedom and financial independence. The bottom line. The focus of today's post is raising your credit score for those who want to join the 800 Credit Score Club. However, as a general life hack, you may want to continue this practice until you reach debt freedom. Paying down debt can raise your credit score and keep you from spending money on high interest debt in the future. Remember, debt costs you more than just money. It costs you time too. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. You just listened to the post titled The 800 Credit Score Club, 4 Tricks to Quickly Increase Your FICO Score by Marcus Garrett with JackieBeck.com.
Tax season is one of the only times people look at their full financial picture, but I see it all year round and know where my tax refund will have the biggest impact because you want to make progress with your money, not just look back and wonder where it all went. Simplify your finances with Monarch. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop. Feel aware and in control of your finances this tax season and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code OPTIMAL. I've been using Monarch for years. It keeps me focused on planning and hitting financial milestones, not feeling bad about past spending. Achieve your financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes money management simple. Use code OPTIMAL at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code OPTIMAL.
Right now at the Home Depot, shop Spring Black Friday savings and get up to 40% off, plus up to $500 off select appliances from top brands like Samsung. Get a fridge with 0 clearance hinges, so the doors open fully even in tighter spaces in your kitchen. And laundry that saves you time, like an all-in-one washer-dryer that can run a full load in just 68 minutes. Shop Spring Black Friday savings, plus get free delivery on appliance purchases of $998 or more at the Home Depot. Offer valid April 9th through April 29th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Building and maintaining a good credit score is important because it's a measure of credit worthiness, and lenders use it to determine the likelihood of repayment. However, it's not the only measure of financial health, and you should probably focus more on building your net worth. Your net worth is the difference between your assets, what you own, and your liabilities, what you owe. It's a more holistic measure of financial health because it takes into account all aspects of your financial life. Your net worth can increase through saving, investing, and reducing debt. Building a healthy net worth requires discipline, patience, and a long-term focus. While a good credit score is essential for accessing credit, it's not the end-all be-all of financial health. A high credit score does not necessarily mean that you're financially secure, nor does a low credit score mean that you're in financial trouble. A credit score is just one aspect of your financial picture, and it's important to understand its limitations. In fact, focusing solely on building a credit score can be detrimental to your long-term financial health. For example, if you prioritize paying off debt solely for the purpose of improving your credit score, you may miss out on opportunities to invest in assets that can increase your net worth. So balance is important here. One strategy to achieve this balance is to focus on paying off high interest debt first, such as credit card debt. Once you've paid off your high interest debt, you can then focus on investing in assets like stocks that will increase your net worth. That should do it for another edition of Optimal Finance Daily. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the Wednesday show tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.